Summer was warm, bright, and overflowing with lessons. But just like the season itself, not everything is meant to stay. This summer taught me about softness and surrender, about letting go of control and allowing life to unfold in its own time, its own rhythm. There were sunny mornings with bare feet on the earth, sipping ice nettles tea as the birds sung sweet songs to the sun. Lips sweet and stained with watermelon by the shore of the lake as the light shimmered back at me off of the gentle waves. There were afternoons stretched long and golden light, Rob Ricardo playing on repeat as if the songs themselves were prayers. And there were nights, short, tender, and heavy, where old grief rose up from the depths, asking to be held, healed, and released. More than ever, this summer season called me to heal old traumas and stories that it was time to release, and to open my heart back up to the possibility of reclaiming the potent, wholehearted, and fully alive life that I had always envisioned for myself. As the beautiful days seemed to be set on repeat, I made the decision to break up with hustle culture and restructure my whole life and business in a way that allowed me to return to the softness of a more intentional life. Summer was both sweetness and shadow, nourishment and deep unraveling. And now, as the seasons fade, I carry its gifts forward while releasing what no longer belongs to the woman I am becoming. Welcome to my Lessons of Summer.
Like, this is just a normal part of our life, that we just live slow and soft and come down to the creek and pick blackberries for our oatmeal tomorrow. Like, this is what life is supposed to look like. Isn't that beautiful?
Welcome to the first days of summer. Come with me as we turn back the clock and relive some of my summer memories and some of the summer lessons and healing that took place in my life this year. So I'm actually celebrating the summer solstice in these clips. I decided this year I was going to promise myself something big. I was going to promise myself that I would no longer dread summer, that I would allow all seasons of my life to unfold exactly as they were meant to, that I wouldn't dread entire parts of my life. And it sounds silly looking back at it. And I think if you didn't know me or know my story, you wouldn't understand why summer was such a huge pain and dread for me. I think it all started when I was exposed to mold in a condo I was living in. And ever since then, I have this feeling of not wanting to be closed up in a house with the windows shut. I can't stand not to have fresh air. And Kyle and I bought our first home in the California desert, where it is absolutely beautiful for half the year. And then the summers are brutally hot. It is not uncommon to have multiple days in the year that can get up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and often would stay in the triple digits month after month after month. I think this heat was taxing on my nervous system and was hard on my body as I was going through my healing journey. But I think most of all, it was the disconnection from nature. It was sitting there with nothing to do but watch TV or scroll on my phone while the AC blasted on me and the windows were shut, completely disconnected from the outside world and from nature. And this is just not how my soul was called to live. I am very much an outdoorsy nature girl. So to have 6 months out of the year where I could only go outside really in the morning and at night, and even then it would be too hot most nights to open the windows, that was absolutely brutal for my soul, to be completely honest. So I think that's part of why summer would be such a challenging season for me. One of the greatest and yet really simple lessons summer taught me was to change what I can with courage and meet what I cannot with softness. Trusting that in time, even those pieces will shift. This was such a huge comfort to my heart and yet such an expansion for my entire being. It really stretched me and challenged me to do what was in my power to change things for myself so that I can fall in love with summer, so I can reclaim this beautiful life of mine that I had been feeling so stuck and stagnant in. So I really came home to this idea: if it's in my power, change it. If it is not in my power, find a way to make peace and accept it with softness and just be okay in that moment with whatever it is.
My life has been incredibly crazy this year. I've been a bit secluded, and that needs to change. Living my life as the example of what's possible, living out loud with confidence, speaking virtually and publicly. Yes, I love all of these things. I think we must all be feeling this call to like really show up and be seen. Because that's kind of like what's on my list too. So if all of those things that I wrote down how I want to fill my business, if I felt that way right now, then I would be doing all of the things that I know I need to do to show up. Like I would be on YouTube and I'd be making the YouTube videos.
Best time to go out film me.
Why do you have knives?
I
Were you gonna throw them?
was thinking about it.
You could throw knives. I'll watch you throw knives. The fire looks pretty. The fire looks pretty.
Oh my god, you too. Here's on.
Happy first day of summer.
Clearly, I am no good at this. 'Cause we've been listening. Oh, we listen. Slow.
Another simple yet profound lesson for me this summer has been really going back to the basics and simplicity when it comes to my healing journey and reclaiming my health. Letting go of the overcomplication, letting go of all of the rules, all of the diets, and just letting things be so simple and so easy. Switching out fake minerals for real ones, fake vitamins for real ones that are whole food based, eating the best I can, picking food that has amazing ingredients, eating whole food when I can. And when I do buy food like this for my pantry and I stock it and I want things that are semi prepared, I pick the best ingredients that I can, and then I let all the other stress go. So I really come home to basic living. Go to sleep when you are tired, eat when you are hungry. If you recognize the name of it and it's real whole food, eat it. Choose organic when you can afford it and when you can, and don't overcomplicate any of it.
Okay, so I've been really decluttering my life lately. I've been doing this whole soul cleanse this summer, and this really has been part of my goal for this summer where I rebranded and restructured my business to allow more room for simplicity and to buy back some time. So I've been focusing more on how to build my business in a way where I do really deep intentional work. And work less hours and set up my business in a way where it's not constantly asking more and more of me and more of my time. And then I've been also doing that for things in my life. So I've been decluttering my home and decluttering my stuff. So I have a house in the desert. I've been decluttering as we think about possibly selling it in the future. That way, when we sell it, we could just sell it and not have to pack everything. And then my little trailer and the mountains that I have, I've been slowly decluttering, and there are still things I want to declutter, but I've been really making more space to free up my time and my energy. As a woman, I know my time is precious and my energy is precious. And I'm really tired of spending a ton of time cleaning and maintaining. And I just want things to be so much more simple and to make room for my wholehearted life, my fully alive life, where I'm not constantly dusting all of these things that I own that I don't even care about. So, with that, I've been really returning to this like simpler way of being, embracing more of my minimalistic side that I've always kind of had. Maybe I'm not a true minimalist because I still like things that are beautiful just for the sake of viewing beautiful, like this little home sign that lights up at night. Like, do I need it? No, but it brings me happiness. And I think that's really what that is for me, is just finding what it is that brings me joy and happiness. And if it doesn't, then it needs to go. And I've been doing that with my health too, and really just coming home to simple health. And during this healing journey of mine, it hasn't always been simple. So I'm allowing it and giving it permission to be simple. I'm making the supplements that I buy more from whole food sources and less synthetic vitamins, just like one at a time. And like some of these supplements that I've been taking, I feel like are not as close to the like natural structure of what that plant or what that thing used to be. And so I'm trying to return more to that and trying to get back into herbalism. I've always thought plants and herbal medicine was amazing. And I kind of let the expensive, fancy supplements get in the way of that. So I'm returning back to the basics of letting herbs heal me. And I have a few supplements I still do. I've decluttered a lot of them, but now the ones I do, I feel like they resonate more with me. Like they're more real and alive, and they follow the values I've always had when it comes to do real natural things when at all possible. So yeah, that's really where I'm at right now. Hubs and I want to have kids in the near future, and I'm really getting out of this state of chronic illness that I was in for several years, and that's a story for another time. But now I'm really working on my fertility because we would like to have kids soon, and my family has a lot of health problems and hormone problems, and I would like to be the person who like breaks that generational curse of health shit so that my kids can live outside of that and not have to fight so hard to be healthy. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's really been a focus this summer, and letting it be simple, letting it be nutritious and fun and delightful and pleasurable. Let food be pleasurable again. Yeah, that sounds good. That's the vibe.
I am right now is right where I'm supposed to be. This is the journey of the soul. It's the adventure.
I never want to give the illusion to the women who watch my videos and consume my content that I do everything completely from scratch and completely natural off my own land. Eventually, Kyle and I would love to have our own property where we can grow more of our own vegetables and herbs. Right now, we really just have a small herb garden and a couple of small fruit trees that have yet to bear much fruit at all. We do harvest wild berries down by our creek when the season is right, just like my husband used to as he was a kid. And for this, I am very grateful. This chapter of our life, living wild and free, looks a little different and a little more tame. And that's okay, because this is our transition chapter, a period of preparedness where we prepare for the next chapter ahead of us. And this is really the lesson here that I would love to give you is use whatever transition chapter you are in right now to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically for your next chapter. Spend this time learning and focusing on what it is you really want, curating and growing your vision for your dream life. Let this chapter, even if it's not exactly where you want to be right now, let it be fruitful in its own ways. that is what I've decided to do with this chapter of my life as I'm between two places and trying to decide exactly where it is that we are going to end up and raise our family. It's okay to not be exactly where you want to be, but one thing I do want to give you as a piece of advice and wisdom is a thought that came to me one afternoon as I was in the shower, which pretty much said, Heather, this is probably the only time in your life that things are going to be this way and look this way. Enjoy it now because things will probably never look this way again. And I think that's actually quite a beautiful thing to remember as you go through chapters of impatience and wanting things to move faster than they are. Is life won't look like this again, so love where you are as you work towards where you want to be.
Did you get a good time?
A little bit. Your hands are all red. Juicy.
I got a couple juicy ones.
And that was a successful wrap on berry picking. Let me see the haul. How'd we do? I think I have that in focus. Either way, it was fun. This is one of my favorite little pastimes this summer with Hubs has been coming here and picking the berries and being by the creek and hearing the creek sounds. All right, bye for now.
I have a strong affinity for the water. There is something about the waves crashing on the shore, the sand between my feet, the lifestyle of being on the shore of the beach or a lake where you lay out blankets, enjoy the sunlight on your skin that really has always captivated my soul. And I think for a long time, I imagined that I would be a beach girly in a beach cottage somewhere by the ocean where Hubs can go surfing in the morning and we would watch the sunset over the waves at night. There's something about it that I just love the sound of water, the feeling of water. Being a California girly, I've come to find that the California beaches financially are inaccessible for Hubs and I. Plus, I wonder if I would do well with the overcast days that often accompany beach life, and if I would maybe prefer the sunny days being in the mountains. And then I come to find that lakes are like mountain beaches. And while I'll still visit the beaches, and who knows, maybe a next chapter for me will someday be a life in a beach cottage, I've come to find that I love the seasons of mountain living. I love the snowfall and the fireplaces in the winter. I love the new growth in the spring and watching the flowers rise up from the ground. I love the endless blue sky sunny days of summer with the hawks and eagles flying through the sky. And of course, I love the changes of fall and the fall colors. So for now, I'm letting myself be here. Which leads me to the final lesson from summer for myself. And that's really this idea of wherever you go, that's where you are. And wherever you settle, that's where you're home. Because home is not just a place, it's a feeling. It's the people you're with, it's the memories you create. Let yourself be home wherever you are. It doesn't mean that it's forever and that you'll never live somewhere else or be somewhere else or experience something else. It's just being okay with this chapter, you know? And just like that, it is time to say goodbye to summer.